From Orange County and the campus of Chapman University, this is the Chapman Business Report.
Continuing our look at entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship, you're going to like this fella and this product on this segment. And before we meet Anthony Ferraro, take a look at an event you've probably seen a fair amount of. It takes place here at Chapman. It's called the Undie Run. It also helped launch our guest's company. Take a look. And back with Anthony Ferraro. He is the co-founder of Suave Under Apparel, I think is the correct name. If only business could always be that fun, right?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely been an interesting journey and very fun.
There's so much that and so much new that goes into. Let's talk sort of at the end of the process here. That so much new that goes into being a successful entrepreneur and launching a product. And you've been on the edge of a lot of it. So we see a video there that you probably hoped would go viral, and it did. Tell me how that video played into the success, because you hadn't really sold it yet, right?
It was actually the Undie Run when we first launched our product, and I got to give a lot of credit to Kevin Wolf and the film production team, because honestly, Suave, we truly didn't have much, production value into it other than the product itself. One of our interns at the time, who was a girl in the video, she had approached me and said, "Hey Anthony, Chapman Film guys are going to be doing this segment or this video on the Undie Run. Would you want Suave to be the product?" And perfect opportunity for us. And had no idea really what the video was going to be about until we ended up seeing it on the news and seeing 290-some thousand views just a few days after it had launched. And like I said, Kevin Wolf, they had done a great job with that video, and couldn't have been more momentum for us when we had initially launched, so it was really special.
And it makes the cover of Reddit, which is a very popular online questionnaire, and from there takes off. You use Kickstarter as well. Tell me how that played into your...
Yes, initially we knew that we were going to need to get some funding. Having this crazy idea of underwear, we knew that it was going to be tough to come by because we hadn't necessarily validated that idea yet, just because we hadn't sold any product. So right after we did a soft launch, when we had launched, right around that Undie Run time, we had sold 250 pairs on campus. So that was somewhat validation, but those were our Chapman friends and our community, so they supported us, our early adopters right there. And the next step to validate our process was crowdfunding, because we didn't have any money at the time, and nobody was going to give it to us because, like I said, we didn't validate the idea. So launching on Kickstarter, we raised $57,000, which was...
what do you have to put out there to get $57,000?
Well, it takes a lot of work, and we were actually one of the first companies that I had even known within my network that had done crowdfunding. And there's a lot of pre-production, a lot of the video campaigns coming up with the content, because those are two really big sellers on that. You can't just put up a video out there and expect to get some money. And
for the benefit of folks who don't know, did that money come with strings, without strings, anonymously? How does that money come?
It comes 2 days after the campaign is closed. If you had exceeded your goal, Amazon takes 5% and Kickstarter takes 5%. And then that's it. It's a pretty great deal for startup companies, because you can get big cash injection.
The rest is a grant.
Yeah. So
now go back to the beginning. You're as the story goes, you're walking through the mall.
Yes.
And you passed Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Or you went inside, and should be one of these for men.
Yeah. Well, it was just before I had actually walked, or I didn't go into Victoria's Secret. It was. So my mom had bought me Hanes brand and Fruit Loom my whole life. A lot of, like most guys that were my age, right when I was getting into college, it was I wanted to look at this product and apparel. I did apply for jobs, trying to get into Chapman at the time. This is when I was at OCC during this experience, and I went to go shop for Nordstrom, and I just noticed how Calvin Klein, Armani, Poppy, there's like a Tommy John, a bunch of these brands, the way that they were marketing themselves was just kind of uncomfortable for me. So I didn't even go and purchase a product. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to head out of here right now. I'm going to keep wearing my Hanes brand Fruit Loom. And I was going to the Apple store, and right across the street from the Apple store at the Brea Mall is Victoria's Secret. And I kind of just stood there and was looking at the store, and I saw men and women funneling in and out of the store, buying underwear, lingerie. And I was just, light bulb moment was kind of like, there's really no option for guys like this store. And then boom, the Victoria's Secret for men which ended up being my punchline for a lot of different competitions and pitches, and really is something that I think paints a really big picture in everyone's mind when you think about this underwear idea.
So you happened onto underwear as the product, as where you would be an entrepreneur, but it's obvious you're a clothes horse maybe a little bit by nature and an entrepreneur a little bit by nature.
No, absolutely. I didn't get into this business because I loved underwear by nature. We talk about lean startup concepts. You're trying to find what the pains of the customer, and I had a personal pain. And it wasn't necessarily anything that was drastic, but I didn't have a brand or product that I was loyal to, and I just felt that there was a different experience that men should have. And entrepreneur is all about taking risks, and I'm fairly confident in my abilities and like to think that I can get stuff done. And so when I had this crazy idea, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to pursue this one.
Further to that crazy idea, the slip pocket,
yes.
is that more gimmicky, or you think this is a very integral part of where people can keep their cell phones in their underwear? It's an integral part of Suave.
Oh, absolutely. When we looked at developing the product, what I think that a lot of companies, especially in underwear, kind of miss out on is the functionality aspect of the product. Coming from a sports background, I knew that I wanted to create a product that was not only comfortable during the day, but you can transition into the gym, and not only would it hold up with sweat and moisture and all that happens in the gym, you're able to eliminate that annoying experience of having an armband on your arm or slipping your phone in your pocket where it's waving around. And one of the first members that was from Chapman is from Europe. His name was Jerry Lieutenant, that helped me start Suave. And when we were coming up with the product, he was like, no brand has underwear or has a pocket in their underwear. And in Europe, that's where the underwear mecca is. And he was like, nobody's gonna wear it. And I was like, no, Jerry, we're gonna change how people think about using their product. And it was my little brother. He goes, because he understands the functionality of using it when you're working out.
Does he have any equity in the company?
He does, well, in more ways, he'll benefit from this.
You do a couple other things, and this is not necessarily new. You're manufacturing your product here in LA.
Yes, here, and we're very proud of that.
You certainly smiled when there was a port strike, but it's got to cost you more.
It does cost us more, but you know what? We don't sacrifice quality or any development issues that happen when starting the product. We actually we're outsourcing the initial development because we thought that we're going to go make it where everybody else makes it, but after wasting time and money, it just didn't make sense. And then once we found a strong manufacturing facility in operation in downtown Los Angeles, we kind of at that moment said, you know what? We're not going to lose any integrity of our brand. We're going to stick true to this American manufacturing movement. And ever since that point, we've never even looked overseas.
Well, good for you on that. Just a few seconds to wrap this up. That video and the launch of the product was 2 years ago. Where's the Suave under apparel at now?
We're selling online. We're about to launch our new products, which could be very exciting. And then from those new products, we're going to be tackling a lot of the brick and mortar retailers that have been kind of coming after us. So it's going to be very exciting next few years for us.
And you're already giving back. I was talking about this with Shan Steinmark, who heads up the Leatherby Center. I happened to be in there, and you were walking in to help mentor other students. So it's been a pleasure to meet you, Anthony, and best of luck to Suave Under Apparel. Thanks for watching the Chapman Business Report.